This is the first episode of a new series called the Johto Aces Challenge series, where we'll go through Johto and use all the gym leaders' Aces' least evolved forms. For example, for Jasmine, we'll use an Onyx, not a Steelix. In this video, we're going to see if you can beat Pokemon HeartGold with only one Pidgey. There are a few rules for this challenge. We can only use Pidgey in battle, we can't use items in battle, but held items are okay. We'll need HM Pokemon, but we can't use them in battle. Healing moves like Roost or Morning Sun are allowed, but only if the Pokemon can learn it through level up normally. Our stats are pretty bad to say the least, being about 60 lower than first from starters. Our speed stat's okay, so we'll go first often, but we won't be dealing much damage. Our level up moveset's really bad. We only get one move that isn't same type attack bonus, and we only have two moves that are above 50 power. By TM, we get some coverage like U-turn and Stealing, and we also get Fly and Return, which are our most powerful stat moves. We'll definitely need both of those. Other than those four, we don't get too many good moves though. Using the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, I replaced Cyndaquil with Pidgey, since I figured Totodile will be the most difficult for us to fight. I named the Pidgey Faulkner, since that's the gym leader's ace that we're using. We only start with Tackle and Sand Attack, so at least we can lower opponent's accuracy. Tangled Feet's a cool ability, because if we get confused, our evasion goes up. Our first rival fight, we just have to spam Tackle, and go for Sand Attack every once in a while. He doesn't actually attack too much, he just goes for a bunch of leers and then scratch, and he actually hits enough that we almost lose. I decided to name the boy Jasmine, because I think it'd be funny to name the rival after whatever gym leader I think I'd have the most trouble with, and I think I'll have the most trouble with Jasmine this run. Next, Falkner, our Pidgey's namesake and the first gym leader. I leveled up a lot since this was actually my second or third attempt, and I had gone through Sprout Tower. Quick Attack and Gust are more than enough to deal with his two Pokemon, but we almost went down in the process. I opt for the second rival fight over Bugsy, so we can get a few more levels before we battle Bugsy. We get a crit Gust on Ghastly, taking out one hit. Obviously, he doesn't understand priority moves, so he just spams Scary Face thinking then we'll go second. And then Zubat is too slow and frail to do anything. Next for Bugsy, the second gym leader. Gust and Quick Attack do decent damage against his Scyther while it sets up Leer and Focus Energy. A couple Quick Attacks from him and some Gusts and Quick Attacks from me take us both down to low health. He uses his Super Potion and I use Roost. After a few more hits are exchanged, we're both down to 1 health, but a Quick Attack from Faulkner takes out the Scyther. And then Metapod and Kakuna can't deal any damage, so the rest of the fight's super easy. Now for Whitney. I knew she would be difficult because her Miltank has very high defenses, so I just grinded all the way to level 33 to get Wing Attack, because I knew that would be the only way we'd be able to beat her. But then, she just doesn't even bother using Rollout, she just spams Stomp and Milk Drink. But the problem is, if I have Quick Attack, she can't flinch me with Stomp, so it just becomes a war of attrition until I finally take her out. Now for the Burn Tower rival fight. One Wing Attack easily takes out Ghastly, but Magnemite's a massive problem. It just goes for Supersonic and Thundershock, paralyzing us and confusing us, making it a massive issue. It takes like 10 turns to take it out, but then when he sends out Croconaw, he doesn't bother attacking for the most part and just goes for Scary Face, but we have Quick Attack so it really doesn't matter. When he finally sends out Zubat after Croconaw's defeated, one critical Wing Attack takes it out. Next for Morty, the Ghost-type gym leader. One Wing Attack easily takes out Ghastly and another takes out his first Haunter. Gengar's a problem since it can put us to sleep and use Dream Eater, but he doesn't actually bother with Dream Eater. He just uses Mean Look and then Sucker Punch a bunch. But we can avoid Sucker Punch damage by using Roost. When we wake up, a couple Wing Attacks easily take it out, and now for his final Haunter, one Wing Attack takes it down to very low health, and then it just uses Curse, easily winning us the fight. Now the game opens up quite a bit, and you can choose if you want to do the 5th, 6th, or 7th gym leaders first. I choose to do Chuck first since we have to go to Cianwood anyways. One wing attack nearly takes out Primeape and it goes for Rock Slide but misses. He heals the next turn and another wing attack takes it out. Poliwrath survives the wing attack, heals up with a Citrus Berry, and goes for Focus Punch. In fact, that's all he does for the rest of the battle is spam Focus Punch even though he's slower. So it really doesn't matter and I can just spam Wing Attack to beat him easily. Next I choose Price, and after clearing out the Team Rocket headquarters, we're level 50 and no Air Slash. I also use the TM for Return after getting it from the Goldenrod department store. One return easily takes out Seal, and 2 returns take out Dugong, but only after taking massive damage off Aura Beam, which is why we had to get so high leveled. Piloswine also goes down to 1 return since we got a crit. While I was grinding for Jasmine, I found the shiny Tauros and caught it, since it can learn most of the HMs in this game. Next for Jasmine, the Steel-type gym leader. I knew we would have to be very high leveled for this, because if we don't one-hit her Magnemites, they one-hit us with Thunderbolt. 1 return takes out each Magnemite, and then out comes Steelix. Its special defense is a lot lower than its regular defense, so I basically just spam Air Slash for the rest of the battle, and heal once, so I don't die to Iron Tail or Rock Throw. But for whatever reason, she really doesn't go for Rock Throw that much and just goes for Iron Tail. A couple Air Slash easily beats her, and we win the 6th gym. Now for the Goldenrod Tunnel rival fight. He leads with Golbat, and 1 return takes it out. Then he goes to Magnemite, and 1 return takes that out too, since it's actually a lower level than Jasmine's Magnemites. Then, he sends out his Sneasel, and 1 return takes that out too. Next is his Feraligatr, which is very powerful. I go for Return, which takes it all the way down to just a little bit of health. And he goes for Ice Fang, which only does 40 health, and a Wing Attack takes it out. Finally, his Hauntor, which goes down to 1 Wing Attack, winning us the rival fight. After kicking Team Rocket out of Goldenrod Tower, we go to Blackthorn City to battle Claire, the 8th gym leader. Her Gyarados comes out first, lowering our attack. Return still does massive damage, and Dragon Rage always does set 40, so it's not a big deal. A second return takes it out easily. Then comes her first Dragonair, which goes down to 1 return. Then her second Dragonair, which also goes down to 1 return. And now, her hardest Pokemon, Kingdra. It takes massive damage from return, heals up with a Citrus Berry, and misses Hydro Pump, which really hurts her. A second return takes it all the way down to very low health, but it hits a Hydro Pump for massive damage, taking us all the way down to 34 health. We go for Roost while she uses a Hyper Potion, so we're both pretty high in health. We use a second Roost, so we're all the way back at full health. She hits a Hydro Pump, which drops us all the way down to 74 health. And we hit a very powerful return that takes her to about a little less than half. She misses a Hydro Pump, and we hit a return to win the 8th gym badge. Now for the final rival fight. Sneasel gets dropped by 1 return, but Magneton's defense allows it to live 1, paralyze us, but gets dropped to a 2nd. Then comes Feraligatr. It outspeeds us and hits a powerful Ice Fang, but we hit a very powerful return, taking it all the way down to red health. We go for Roost when it goes for Waterfall, and outspeeds us obviously. Roost takes us back up to about where we were before. It goes for a second Waterfall, we go for another return, taking it out. Out comes Kadabra, we go for Roost, and it disables return, which is very unfortunate. It outspeeds us, goes for Psybeam, and we get paralyzed, so we can't take it out. Next turn it goes for a Reflect, so it can just barely live the Wing Attack, and then it misses Disable while we go for Roost to heal back up to full. We go for another Wing Attack after it hits us with Psybeam to take it out. Then comes Golbat. First turn it goes for Air Cutter and misses, and return takes it down to about a quarter health. The second turn it goes for Confuse Ray and lands unfortunately, and we get paralyzed. Now we are paralyzed and confused, which means that we'll not be hitting often, and we'll be getting hit by Air Cutter a ton. After about 3 turns of that, we go for Roost, heal back up to almost full, and are confused still and hit ourselves. We go for Roost again, heal back up all the way to full, take an Air Cutter, hit an Air Slash to take it out. To even stand a chance of beating Lance, we have to be level 100. And at that point, we're way too high of level for the Elite Four and just one-shot everything. I ended up replacing Air Slash with Fly, so we're hitting with a physical move over a special move. And Fly's a higher power than Air Slash. Now for Lance, the Pokemon champion, Return does massive damage even with the Intimidate attack drop. Ice Fang does 50. We mirror move the Ice Fang, take it down to barely any health left, but he flinches. Next turn he heals up, so we heal up with Roost. Return does just as much damage the next turn, and he goes for Ice Fang, dealing just a little more than the first time. Mirror moving the Ice Fang causes him to get frozen, he can't do anything. We Roost up, because I expected him to use a Falkner sword, but he didn't. Now we're back at full, and he's barely has any health left, and he's frozen. A third return takes the Gyarados out. Now for a second Pokemon, Aerodactyl, a resisted return does minor damage, and a Rock Slide does over 100 to us, but mirror moving the Rock Slide is able to take out the Aerodactyl. Now for the first of Lance's 3 Dragonites, Return does massive damage, taking it to yellow health, and he misses a Thunder. If he had hit that, Pidgey would have gone down. A second Return easily takes it out. As he sends in his second Dragonite, I wonder when my luck will run out, so I go for Roost so he can live a Blizzard, because I'm sure he'll hit one eventually. In fact, he does, but it does very underwhelming damage, and I wanted to be careful. Mirror moving the Blizzard takes out Dragonite in one shot, because even though Pidgey doesn't have a great special attack, it's still 4 times super effective and 110 power. Now for Lance's third and final Dragonite. I don't usually make it this far, because we usually get paralyzed and outsped right here, but since we're not paralyzed, we hit a critical return and take it out in one shot. Now for Lance's final Pokemon, a Charizard. I've only made it this far once before, but I was paralyzed and at low health, so he easily took me out. A return does massive damage, and he hits with an Air Slash that does barely any, and a second return takes it out and makes us the new Pokemon champion. So in fact, you can beat Pokemon HeartGold with only one Pidgey. I was planning on doing Kanto and maybe even battling Red, but I knew I would stand no chance because even against Brock I couldn't take out one Pokemon. So I didn't end up doing any of Kanto for this run, but I will for the next Johto run, unless it's something somehow worse than this. My next challenge is going to be only one Phanpy in Pokemon Platinum. If you enjoyed this challenge video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what other challenges you think I should do, and maybe I'll do yours at some point.